LifeWorks provides a framework to help us get in shape and stay in shape as a Christian. This short video is part of the LifeSHAPE series. The LifeSHAPE of a follower of Jesus is marked by 6 distinct but related themes. They are trust and obedience, contentment and gratitude, generosity and courage. These 6 things take a lifetime to master, but they do represent a shape of a life that's like Jesus' own life, and therefore a pattern for our own. This short video introduces the LifeSHAPE theme of contentment. Many, many years ago, when I was a child, my mother used to sit me in front of the radio, and we used to listen to a program together, which appropriately enough was called Listen with Mother. Every single episode of that program started with the same words. Are you sitting comfortably? The answer was assumed to be yes, and so the presenter said, then I'll begin. So let me ask you that question. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you content with your life, with who you are and where you are? We all know, I guess, what it feels like to be discontent at some point in our lives, and it's not nice, is it? Contentment has been defined as a mental state that arises from being at ease in one's situation, in one's body, and in one's mind. Being at ease in one's body, in one's mind, and in one's situation. That sounds attractive, doesn't it? And the good news is that contentment can be learned. Here's a verse from the Bible. Paul, the apostle, writing to the church in Philippi. He writes this, not that I was ever in need, for I have learned to be content with whatever I have. I know, he said, how to live on almost nothing, or I know how to live with everything. I've learned the secret of living in every situation, for I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. I can learn to be content, he says. Understanding the causes of discontentment can give us clues about how to learn to be content. For example, one of the causes of discontentment is hanging on to the past, living today with regrets, with shame, with guilt, with all the what ifs. What if I'd only done that? All those what ifs can be really crushing and lead to great discontentment. The story is told of 2 monks who a long time ago were walking down a road together, and they saw a woman who was trying to cross a stream with some heavy bags of shopping. One of the monks, much to the surprise of the other one, rushed up to the woman, picked her up bodily and carried her across the stream with her shopping. He returned to the other side of the stream and walked on with his friend. And when they got to the town to which they were headed, the friend who'd watched all this said, I'm just shocked that you should treat the woman that way. You know, in our order, we're not supposed to touch women. And the monk who'd helped the woman turned round, looking himself somewhat surprised, and said, goodness me, are you still carrying that woman? I put her down hours ago. The moral of the story is that what we continue to carry can affect how we are. Carrying the past with us is often a cause of discontentment. And the first lesson to learn contentment is to learn to leave the past where it belongs, in the past. There's a lovely Bible verse that says, leave your burdens with God, for he cares for you. God is an expert at dealing with the pain of our pasts. And one of the clues to learning to be content is to let him do just that. A second reason for discontentment might be that we're ambitious for the wrong things. There's another verse in the Bible that talks about contentment. It says, true godliness with contentment is great wealth. And it doesn't matter what we've got, the verse goes on, if we have enough food and clothing, let's be content. In other words, make life simple. A lot of the stress in life, a lot of the discontent in life can come through just wanting too much of the wrong sort of things. Our whole society is built on the idea that we need to keep spending, we need to keep getting, we need to have more. We need to have the same as other people have got. And when we've got what they've got, we need to get a faster version of it, or a more slick or a more fashionable version of what we've already got. That insane desire for more is a major cause of discontent in our lives. And the second lesson for learning how to be content is to learn how to live simply and how to cherish that wonderful word, enough. I don't need more, I've got enough. I don't want another one, I've got enough. Learning to live with enough, learning to live simply, is a great lesson on the road to learning to be content. The third cause of discontentment, perhaps, is when we try to be something that we're really not. And perhaps that's sometimes linked with comparing ourselves with other people. We don't look as good as other people look. We're not as smart as other people are. We can't do things that other people appear to be able to do. And so we start to look down on ourselves and become discontent with who we find ourselves to be. A story is told of animal school, where the animals go to school, believe it or not. And all the animals have to do the same curriculum. And one day the lesson is swimming. And some of the animals just love it. The ducks particularly love the swimming lesson. But the animal that hates the swimming lesson is the rabbit. The rabbit just can't get the hang of swimming. In fact, he always nearly drowns. He gets out looking bedraggled, and all the other animals laugh at him for the way he looks when he's been in the water. He hates it. And the teacher perceives that rabbit is struggling with swimming. And so the teacher comes to Rabbit and says, look, I see you're struggling with this lesson. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you. After school every day, we'll do more swimming. And sooner or later, I'm sure you'll pick it up and get the hang of it and be as good as the ducks. Now, of course, it's a nonsense. The rabbit is trying to be something, or the teacher is trying to make the rabbit something that the rabbit was never designed to be. The last thing the rabbit needed was more swimming. He needed the space to run and to hop. Often we're like the rabbit. We're trying to be something we're really not designed to be. Maybe other people are designed to be it, but not us. And one of the lessons of learning to be content comes from learning to celebrate who we are and not who we aren't. Being content with who we find ourselves to be. A fourth reason for discontentment is maybe that we live in the future and we don't enjoy the present. We're anxious about tomorrow. We're anxious about next week, next year. What's going to happen? How will I cope? What if? What if? But Jesus said, don't be anxious about tomorrow. It will bring anxieties of its own, but don't carry them today. Live in the moment. Today is all you've got, so find God's grace now. There's a whole nother video in this series on the importance of gratitude. And this lesson links with that. Learning to be grateful for what we have today and not anxious about what we might or might not have tomorrow is a great lesson on the road to learning to be content. And the final thought is this. One of the reasons we're discontent is often because we live for ourselves. We are selfish. That might sound harsh, but the truth is we want to look after number one. And there's a lot of evidence now that that actually causes us stress and anxiety and discontentment. There's respected psychological research that shows that helping other people is a great key to our own health and happiness. That when we give ourselves away, when we help other people, when we're kind to other people, whether that's a big gesture or just a small token, a sign of friendship, maybe ringing somebody up, giving someone a card, helping somebody with their shopping, whatever it is that we feel we can do for others, giving away to others is a way of becoming content ourselves. There's a rebound. There's a strange verse in the Bible that says, cast your bread upon the waters and it will return to you. The idea is that we give away what we think we need, but actually, much to our surprise, we find that we get back what we give away. Become a better giver, not just a getter, is a great lesson on the road to learning to be content. So 5 short thoughts. Leave the past with God. Learn to live simply and value enough. Celebrate who you are, not who you aren't. Live in today, not tomorrow. And become a giver, not a getter. And as you put those and other lessons into effect, I hope and pray that you will learn the secret of being content, whatever the circumstances of your life.